Time for number 35 on my Best Picture Marathon. Best Picture Marathon theme song. Following the huge success of A Bridge on the River Kwai, producer Sam Spiegel and director David Lean teamed up for another big epic. Lawrence of Arabia was released by Columbia Pictures in 1962. It tells the real-life story of T.E. Lawrence, a British soldier, author, and poet who became a British military liaison in the Middle East and became inextricably intertwined in the so-called Arab Revolt against the Ottomans during the First World War. To put it simply, Lawrence of Arabia is one of the greatest motion pictures of all time. I first watched this movie on DVD about 25 years ago, and I really liked the film, but I didn't find it as exciting as Bridge on the River Kwai. Years later, I got the chance to see it on the big screen in a movie theater, and it was like, what? Lean shot the movie on 70mm film, and it is just huge and epic and designed for the big screen. There are hundreds of extras, horses, camels. The scale of this movie is staggering. And remember, there was no CGI in 1962. It's a very long movie, but it was cut down by about 20 minutes after the premiere so that movie theaters could get more showtimes in a day. In 1989, a fully restored director's cut was released. It's awesome. The film has a very impressive cast, including Peter O'Toole in his first major starring role. Plus, there's Omar Sharif, Alec Guinness, Anthony Quinn, Jack Hawkins, Claude Rains, and Jose Ferrer. When the movie was first released, it was banned in a number of Arabic countries over fears of negative cultural depictions. Omar Sharif was Egyptian and was already a huge star in the Middle East. He personally presented the film to the president of Egypt to demonstrate that there was nothing offensive about the film's depictions. President Nasser loved the film, allowed it to be released in Egypt, and it became a huge hit there. From a modern perspective, yes, there are issues with having non-Middle Eastern actors playing Middle Eastern characters, sometimes in brownface, but they don't just rely on lazy stereotypes. Of course, there have been criticisms about portrayals of specific individuals. In a couple cases, families of real people have sued or threatened to sue Columbia Pictures over their depictions, but anytime you make a biopic or a based on a true story movie, there's always fictionalization that happens. The writers found a lot of conflicting reports in their research and ended up basing most of the movie on T.E. Lawrence's actual autobiography, The Seven Pillars of Wisdom. The movie takes a character who's been propagandized in British culture to be this great hero, and really strips him down to the complexity of a very flawed individual. The movie's Lawrence is vain, arrogant, ambitious, an egomaniac who weaponizes his own charisma, and doesn't see the folly of his ways until it's too late, depicting traditional colonialism as borderline madness. Regardless of historical accuracy, it is a brilliant, magnificent movie. Many filmmakers have cited this as one of their favorite films. George Lucas, Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, Catherine Bigelow, Denis Villeneuve. You can see a lot of Lawrence of Arabia's influence on Villeneuve's Dune movies, both visually and thematically in terms of the danger of following a false messiah. Lawrence of Arabia was filmed in England, but also on location in Jordan, Morocco, and Spain, under often very difficult conditions. But much like River Kwai, it paid off, it was very successful at the box office, and won Best Picture, as it should have. And let's not forget Maurice Jarre's incredible score. One of the actors who was considered for Lawrence was Albert Finney. He didn't get the role, but he is in our next movie, Tom Jones. See you next time.